All right, I got my guy on, Marcus Elliot. Been knowing this guy, man, since O-Dub days. So that's like 01, 02. We kind of ran in the same circle, played at the same JUCO, but not at the same time. But had the same point guard, TJ McCullough, O-Dub. But yeah, I think my guy, you from Fort Walton Beach, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Is that where you grew up? Was you born and raised?
Yeah, I grew up in Fort Walton Beach. I was born in California. Moved to Fort Walton like area when third gradish, elementary-ish. You know what I mean? Did middle school, high school, Fort Walton Beach.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you play any other sports coming up?
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much everywhere in Florida, like you either gonna play football or baseball or something. You know what I mean? Dual sport.
Now, when did you have to pick? Or did you play football and basketball all the way through high school, or did you have to like choose one time?
Man, I made the decision going into my 9th grade year. Man, you gotta understand, like my freshman year was 1998. I feel like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 98. So that's
you graduated 02, right?
Yeah, I graduated 02.
Yeah, 98. So,
like the state of Florida football was huge, and I was you know, I'm a jit. Like I didn't have the size on me. I didn't weigh enough, so I was like, man, I'm gonna stick with this basketball. I get broke up out there,
right?
You know. So then as I started to go through high school, then they kept trying to recruit me, and I was too stuck on basketball by then. I was locked in. So
now, did you play both in middle school, football, and which one were you better in middle school, or like was it kind of even?
It was kind of even.
Okay. Yeah. And then so on the basketball side, how was your skill level? Like, were you already tall? Like, would you still, you know, because
I was like 6 foot, you know what I mean? Coming in my freshman year, I was like 5'11"-ish, 6 footish,
right.
You know what I mean? But I was just scrappy. I was playing D. I knew the game. My IQ was up there, especially for a freshman. I started my freshman year in varsity. You know what I mean? This is class 6A in Florida. So, you know, when it comes to the playoffs, we got to bump Orlando, we got to bump Duval, we got to bump my Tampa schools, you know what I mean? So, you know, 6A in Florida was huge. But then I started growing, and then I started getting my shot together.
Right.
Shot is really what set it off for me, you know, learning the right form, you know, the art, working on that craft daily, following guys like Ray Allen, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just studying the game.
Now, you want to, I think you, Travis, are like the only two guys. I think even Kendall said, like, coming into high school, like, he didn't start as like a freshman. So what was that transition like from middle school, you know, into high school, like going right into varsity, like just trying to, you know, like the transition?
Man, I got thrown into the fire during the summer.
Okay.
You know, so the summer really helped me out. Like, you know, the Tallahassee team camps.
Yeah.
You go to Florida State, FAMU, TCC, you open up all the gyms, and you just in there bumping all the schools in Florida. Like, you know, Miami Senior's in there, Lakeland Kathleen is gonna be in there somewhere, Pensacola's gonna be in there somewhere. It's just schools from Ocala, Leesburg, whoever, everybody's gonna be in there. And like, I got thrown into the fire early, so we hit that camp twice that summer. By the second time, you know, the first time it was a shock, like, woo, you know what I mean? And I'm playing varsity, and he's making me play all three. Freshman, JV, and a varsity. You know what I mean? Most in the varsity, so I'm doing the double. But that really got me situated. But then when the regular season came freshman year, we made a run in the conference or in the district.
Okay.
Then we went in district playoffs and snuck into the playoffs.
And what high school?
Fort Walton Beach High School.
Fort Walton Beach, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
ended up team DeLand. Damian Wilkins was playing for I want to say Dr. Phillips. Yeah, he's playing for DP. He was playing for Dr. Phillips. Guy was cast at DeLand. We had to see the DeLand in the next round.
Right.
Crazy.
What year was your best high school team? I guess, like, as far as talent wise, or like as far as you guys like went like into the state tournament.
My junior year. We were number 5 in the state, and our crosstown rival, Choctaw, they were number 1 in the state.
Okay. Now, were there some guys in that area that you played against in high school that we may know now that they, that went to a big school, or anybody that was in that area that you played against in high school? Or like I heard you say that you played against Damian Wilkins. Were there any other guys that in high school that you played against that we may know?
Nah, man. Not in our area, not in our region. Some guys went on and had good D1 careers and stuff like
Right.
that, but nobody to date that like touched the league or anything.
What about on your team? Was it like you said that junior was your best year? Did anybody else go play in college?
Yeah, they did. They went to some JUCOs in Mississippi, and then after that, they pretty much faded off the game.
Right.
Like me, I went to my freshman year at Mississippi JUCO. Then I came back and went to OW. I should have started off.
Right.
And then, from there, made my decisions on my D1s.
Right. So, so high school, like, what were some of the accomplishments? Did you get like first team state player of the year?
I was a first team All State of Florida, 5A.
Your senior year. Okay.
Yeah. That's I think Amari and them was in that bracket too.
Yes, I was going to ask you in 2002, who was the player of the year in Florida? Was it Amari?
Amari.
Okay. He went to Atlanta. Did you play against TJ Andy in high school, like a team camp or anything or at all?
Nah. We used to run into like Godby, Tallahassee Godby, and they always had a squad. But TJ, we'll see them around. But we never really got to get in the mix with them.
Right, but y'all heard about each other though.
TJ was frying stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like TJ was frying stuff, man. He was dropping 40 balls on people.
Right. Yeah. I seen he was showing me stuff like that he had to show me all his write-ups and everything. So yeah, I saw it. So TJ was a point guard at OW, by the way.
Yeah.
And he went on Gardner Webb. Right. Now, what was your recruiting process like as far as schools? Like, how'd that go?
Oh man, Coach Stewart will have you there early in the summer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my recruitment process going into out of JUCO.
Right.
I pretty much got a bunch of letters, and then I decided on 2 visits. And I
from high school in the JUCO.
In the JUCO? No,
yeah.
High school in the JUCO, man. I actually was waiting around to get into
yeah. What was that process like? Like after high school, like going into college?
I should have signed early. I had a couple of D1s. There was a guy. He called my house early one morning, and he got the college from Bowling Green to offer me. And they were in a decent conference, and I was trying to wait on
something big,
higher school. You know what I mean? I was trying to wait on this prep school as well. I ended up waiting late. Schools had already signed their players, and I ended up catching an opportunity at the Mississippi, Southwest Mississippi Community College. Went out there one day, got the offer, thought on it, stayed there for my freshman year.
Okay, so why and I think we may have talked about this, and I know like OW was right in your backyard. So why'd you not go to OW, or like what was the reason why?
I didn't want to be at home.
Okay,
you know what I mean. I'm from the area. Like I grew up on it too. Like obviously it's an honor to come from that school.
Right.
I just grew up in that area. I didn't want to be in, spend my college in that area.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Even though that OW, and I can see it, but even though as OW being one of the top JUCOs, in the country, it's like you still like you wanted to go see somewhere else. So coming back into that second year, yeah. So coming back into that second year, were you more comfortable just being at home? Just knowing the history that Okaloosa has. Was that kind of like, giving you like a fresher breath there going into your second year?
Nah, man, it's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
We're going into my second, because you're coming back. I'm coming back to a school that they're in the national tournament every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They went state. They went in a region.
Yeah.
That's
because we won state my freshman year and went to Hutch my freshman.
I be a part of that. You know what I mean? But I came the following year, so that's hard to live up to. And we ended up losing in state, so we didn't go to the national tournament.
To who?
To Chipola.
Who did Chipola have?
Chipola had they had a transfer that used to play at OW. His name was Mario. I forget Mario's last name.
Mario Joyner.
Yeah, Mario Joyner.
Mississippi, yeah. That's my guy, Mario. Yeah.
They had another guy from
Jim
Natchez, Mississippi, that ended up signing at Ohio State. He was a guard, about 6'4"-ish.
Jaquel Foster.
Huh? Yeah.
That's my other. Yeah, I know Jaquel too. Okay, all right.
They had them two, and they had a big. They had a solid big. He ended up signing at University of New Orleans, but I think he was bigger than that. I think he ended up transferring. They had another big time big too. They were stacked.
Right. Who were some other guys in JUCO that you played that year? Like when you was at OW that you may know, because it's some top guys that come through that conference. So I know you had to play against. Did you play against anybody else?
It was pretty much us and them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we would slip up a game against Tallahassee here and there. Tallahassee had a guy named Steve Cherry.
Okay.
Steve Cherry used to get busy. You know what I'm saying?
But people don't know too well, like at Tallahassee, like Marcus Hatton, I know I'm probably going back a little bit, but if you know ball, like Marcus Hatton went to Tallahassee, and he went to like St. John's and was like second, third in the nation in scoring. And then the 2 years before, I think when you got to OW and I got there, Kedrick Brown was like a lottery pick.
Straight. Marcus Hatton them played. Like they all played each other, man. Like
right.
He went first round, 11th pick to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, Kedrick Brown ran right out of JUCO. So like that's a tough conference, that Panhandle Conference. So right. So now ending your second year at JUCO, what was your final, like what was your 3 or 4 schools? How many visits did you take, and how'd you end up going deciding on Louisiana Tech?
Man, I ended up my only 2 visits that I took, and my 2 choices that it boiled down to was Kansas State and Louisiana Tech.
Kansas State?
Kansas State.
Okay.
My official visit to Kansas State. I liked it. Kansas State. Sproles was a running back on the football team.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Manhattan, Kansas. I took a visit there my senior year in high school.
Word.
Went to a game, yeah. And like you said, and Sproles was the
atmosphere.
Right.
Great college atmosphere, man. I liked it. The vibe with the teammates was a little, a little different. But it was still solid though. And then I took my visit to Louisiana Tech, man. And when I got to Tech, the vibe with the coaching staff, the teammates, the chemistry was just there.
Right.
Which was the main reason I signed there.
Okay.
Had Paul Millsap. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Did you play with Paul Millsap?
I played with Paul Millsap
for 2 years. For the 2 years there, or he was there for a year?
I played one. I played with him for 1 year.
So when you was a junior, he was a senior.
Nah, we together.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He just left. He left. He in return for his senior. My bad.
So he went pro after his junior year. How was he? Paul Millsap. How was his game in college like compared to now? Like, was it different?
Paul had all of that. Paul had that whole package in college. He would just pull it out like, in practice and during the games. He was, within the system, he was still doing his thing, catching Davon's passes, catching whoever's passes, like finishing. Great touch, great knack. Just a knack for the ball wherever it went off the rim, man. He just had it. And like after practice, we'd play ones. Then he's busting out the handle in the long range shot.
Right.
And he was consistent with it, you know what I mean? So,
right.
He been had that package.
But because I know in college he was known for like for his rebound, for his rebounding. Yeah, I think he was like the leading nation in rebounds, I believe.
3 years in a row.
What was that the WAC was that the WAC conference?
Yes, it was.
Who were some guys that you? I know some guys in that conference that we may know that when you were there, like 2 years. Who were some guys that we may know that you played against?
Kobe Carr was there. He was with Boise State. They had 2 guys that actually played for Fresno State. One was Coleman, and another dude was a guy that went overseas. It was T2's son, Terminator's son, out of New York.
Okay.
They called him T2. He was nice. I forget his name. JaVale. Not JaVale McGee was within that conference.
Nevada. He was at Nevada, right? Yeah.
Nevada had a guy named Nick Fizikis that was cold.
Yeah. He was like a lottery pick, I believe, right?
I want to say he was first round in somewhere, but
so if you played Boise, did you play against Aaron?
Ramon Sessions was on that same team.
Okay.
Ramon was on the same team as Nick Fizikis.
Okay. Now, did you play against Aaron Haynes? Because
maybe, probably, I don't know.
He was at Boise.
Aaron what?
Aaron Haynes. I just had him on here. He was
probably, man. You know what I mean? If he was anywhere like 2005 to 2007 era, 2004 era to 2007 era, yeah.
Okay. Now, what kind of success did well, first off, before we get there, what was that transition from JUCO into like D1 now? Because now it's a, bigger, faster, stronger, smarter.
The whole basketball aspect of it changed. Like even just like looking at it from being a business, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now you're here to lock in and focus. You're here for this. So, you know what I mean? Handle your business in the classroom, get your books, but put that work in. You got to put the work in on your body, rest, eating right. You know what I mean? Really locking in and focus on the season.
When you first got there, and before you get to conference, you guys play non-conference games. Who was probably some big non-conference games that you guys played in when you were in college? We
played Calipari and them at Memphis. When they had Sean Williams, I want to say Darius Washington and some other guys. Will Carney. I forget his name.
Bounce.
Yeah. We played Bob Knight and them at Texas Tech.
Tech.
Bob Knight caught a tech, threw the chair on the floor. You know what I mean?
Right. Who was on that Tech team?
Guys, man.
Who was on that Tech team? Was that like Ace? That wasn't.
It was a guy, Jackson from Monroe, Louisiana. He was a shooter, light-skinned brother.
Didn't AC Law go to Texas Tech? Am I wrong about that? AC Law?
AC Law went to Texas Tech.
He was A&M.
We played them. We played them as well.
Okay. I forgot about AC Law was nice in college.
Yeah, we had them. We had a good game with them at like they held a little tournament at their out there in College Station.
Right. Okay. And as far as success, what's the furthest like you guys went? Did you guys go to the dance any year or conference tournament?
We didn't, man. I felt like we got snubbed my junior year, but we went to the NIT.
NIT, okay. So you guys did have some tournament experience your junior year NIT, okay. Now
you're gonna go to the conference tournament. Our conference tournament was held in Nevada and Reno, so that in itself was an experience. You know what I mean? With the WAC, was pretty big. You got Hawaii's in the conference. They had a dude like Julian Sensley or something like that. He was a big time, like
I remember that name.
A forward type guy, with like a guard handle type, whatever package.
Now, did you get any like conference like first team, first, second team while you were there?
Nah, not that I recall. Maybe a second team or honorable mention. I don't know. Can't really remember. It was up and down. We had a squad, man. We had like 6 guys. We ended up having 6 seniors. You know what I mean?
Right.
We was rotating.
Right.
Those games where I dropped 22, 24, 28, and turn around and have like a
9
12.
or 10. Yeah. That's how it is in college, though. Like it's just up and down like that, but just trying to stay consistent. Yeah.
Get a couple of minutes, get 8 points, come sit out, don't play no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just depending on what was going on.
Okay. So now you're end of your senior year of college. Now, what was your transition into becoming a pro? Like, did you go to any camps? Did you have workouts? Now, when did you sign an agent, and like, what was your first job?
Man, so my first year getting out, man, I stayed behind and got my degree.
Okay.
I got my degree, man. I wanted to finish school with that first and foremost. So I went after I got my degree. But once in the process of getting my degree, I fell back in love with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fall in and out of love with basketball sometimes, you know.
Right.
Depending on your frustrations or whatever else you got going on. So I fell back in love with the game, the workout, the grind, showing up to pick up. You know what I mean? Going on Grambling University's campus, showing up on road somewhere. They got runs and just showing up. And man, so I ended up catching a job and catching a couple of contacts until one day I got a call and dude offered me a job in Chile.
In Chile, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was your first gig coming up.
Yep.
Now, what was that experience like? Just coming out, you know, first year, first pro job. Did you feel like you were ready, or like were you not? You know, this.
I was beyond ready. Like I was beyond ready. I was ready for the moment of opportunity. Like, and it showed because the first 2 games I got there, they were having some type of tournament to see who goes to the Super Cuatro, which was the top 4 in the Chilean.
Like a cup type game. Okay.
So it was like the top 4 teams, and we were playing to be one of the 4 teams on first 2 games there.
Right.
I had 2 outstanding games, and hello.
Yeah.
I ended up having 2 outstanding games, and we ended up going to the Super Cuatro.
Okay.
So, but I was also teammates with a roommate of mine at O-Dub.
Who was that?
Deshaun Danzy.
Okay.
So he was my teammate, man.
Nice.
And, it was interesting. It was an interesting first year.
It's always cool, especially have somebody overseas with like not only have an American, but like American that you know and that you got a relationship with. Like that's big. How I'm probably gonna have like probably 5 or 6 guys I played with in Lebanon because all of us stayed like so close together. And like when we hung out so much that we still talk to this day because you know just from being in Lebanon and all the team was like 15 minutes apart. So everybody, you know, always hung out. So that was pretty cool. And I know that's South America, and I know that you bounced around, you know, in different countries. But now, how many years did you play in South America, and what countries?
I played, I want to say from 2008 till about 2015, 16-ish. So.
And what were some of the other countries that you played in down there?
Played in Uruguay, Montevideo, capital. I played in Argentina for 3 different teams in Argentina.
Okay.
I played in Venezuela. I played for a couple of different teams out there. I played in Ecuador. I played in Mexico.
Right.
And I played for 2 teams in Chile.
Now, have you played in Europe?
No, I haven't.
Never. So you never been to Europe. Okay, so now, and I know you've been in Hong Kong. So how'd you get from South America to Hong Kong, and what was that? You know, how'd that come about? Because that's a whole different side of the globe and a whole different league.
Man, really, man, I'm gonna have to go back. My high school coach gave us a quote, like, you know what I mean? Everybody hears it all the time, but you never know who's watching you. You know
right.
I mean? How serious you take your craft. You know what I mean? How serious do you take yourself, man? Well, how I got to Hong Kong, I actually was blessed enough to win my first championship in my professional career in Argentina for San Lorenzo.
Okay.
Our club, man. And, we won a chip, the top league in Argentina, which is a big deal. Won that. And after that, I kind of wanted to do something different. And there was a coach that I played against in Mexico. He's a guy out of Barcelona, Spain. His name is Eduard, Coach Edu. And, man, he was coaching the team in China. Had some plugs over there. You know what I mean? They had an opportunity for me. I thought about it.
Now, this was in Hong Kong, right? Now, he took the job in Hong Kong, or he knew somebody there?
No, so the organization has a CBA team in mainland China as well.
Okay.
So Hong Kong, not China, is 2 separate places.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right, they're connected. There's a wall, there's a border, you know what I mean?
Okay.
2 flags. But our organization has a couple of different teams. They have a CBA team. They have a couple of soccer teams. They have us, 2 ABL teams, because they have us and the Macau Black Bears
okay.
as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they got a couple of different things going on.
Right. I know we're getting ahead now. What was the name now? The name of the team that we're talking about in Hong Kong? That's the Eastling, right?
Eastern.
Okay. Eastern. So that transition there now, what was the difference from South America to the league to Eastland, and the name of that league is the Asian Basketball League, right? The ABL, right?
Yeah, the Asian Basketball League.
Right. Okay.
ABL. Yeah. So the transition from Latin America to the Asian market was the physicality.
Right.
Argentina's local, and national players of Argentina, like they have a high basketball IQ too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Type of grit and competitive. I would say similar to the Philippines CBA or even the PBA or the China's CBA.
Right.
They got some big players in the CBA, some local guys.
Right. But as far as as far as like tempo, is it like up and down? Is it like are like both leagues kind of like like fast paced tempo? Because like Europe, I'm pretty sure you hear people say like Europe can kind of be slowed down. I mean, like the games are like some games might be like in the 60s, 70s, just because defense is more.
It's gonna be structured for sure. You know what I mean? Is sometimes you're gonna catch your pace and you might get up and down a little bit, but for the most part, if you're going through the first secondary break or whatever, and that breakdown,
right.
You're rolling right play. You're rolling right into some structure, and you're gonna continue and moving. Like, our top five when we won that chip, like our starting five all averaged double figures.
Okay.
The highest scorer on the team averaged 16.
Right. But when you got five guys averaging like doing that, then everybody is a threat. Right.
Everybody can get a bucket.
So how was your first year, and how many years have you been in that league?
In the ABL?
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years. And you got a chip?
Yeah, I got a chip my first year.
First year. Oh, so the first year there, you got a chip.
Third.
So third year because and how many years were you on Eastern? Because you're on a different team now, right?
I was on Eastern for 3 ABL seasons.
Okay, and you got one chip there. You got did you get a MVP one year?
Yes, my first year.
So your first year, you just killed it like off the bat.
Off the rip, it was a difference between South American market and the Asian market at that moment.
Right. I mean? What was that? So like, what was that just clicked for you? Like, once you got over there?
It was just the timing and just playing my position, man. Like, because when I was in Argentina, like,
were you coming off a good year too? Like in Argentina, like, were you coming like off a good year?
Yeah, like, because I was rolling in from a different season then. Like, I was playing in a league in Montevideo, and that's the LUBB,
right?
The E League. So I was over there, and I was leading scorer in the league over there. But we was like one of the middle pack, bottom tier type teams,
right.
Playoffs and stuff
right.
like that. So I ended up, finishing the playoffs, getting knocked out first round of the playoffs with them, and I ended up catching a job in Argentina.
Right.
You know what I mean? So up there, bam. And we now we're rolling, you know what I mean? So, and I'm switching to a whole different structure. Now I go from like the number 1 and number 2 option to being the 4th option.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
now I'm corner waiting for me, setting my screen, rolling, picking, cutting, handling the ball, strapping up, guarding the best wing on defense. You know what I'm saying? Right. And at one point, I was second leading scorer on the team, averaging like 6 shots, 7 shots. You know what I mean? Just efficient, knowing how to get to the line, stuff like that.
Right. Now, who were some of the other Americans that we may know that you played against in that league?
My teammates, Troy Bell,
okay,
Josh Powell.
Yep, played for the Lakers.
Yep. It was a couple of guys, man.
No, I know you played against, and I think I'm trying to get him on here soon. We already talked. Chris, he's a 7-footer from Nova. Played for the team. I think he got a chip one year. He was like the defensive player of the year from his name Chris Conson.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's like he won back-to-back chips and back-to-back MVPs. I feel like.
Oh, so he was there when you was playing against him there when he won his chips there.
My first year, he was there, but he wasn't playing.
Okay.
I think he was sitting out from an injury that season. But
Okay.
he was on the bench. He was on courtside every game though.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's still there. That's a tough league.
Yeah.
Right.
So this year, OJ Mayo was in the league. In the past, Ronaldo Bachman was in the league.
Okay, so OJ Mayo was over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the league is good. It's got good imports, man. You know what I mean?
Now I know that your season, you know, it got shut down with everything going on. Now, are you going back to this to your same team? And what's your or are you just waiting for other options?
Right now, we just gonna see what's going on with the league.
Right.
You know, people are getting in contact with me, and we just go from there. But you know, right now we're just gonna see what's going on with the league, see what's going on with everybody's safety. You know, things of that nature.
How far were y'all into the season when everything stopped this year?
It's hard to say because we had a late start.
Okay.
Everybody had like 4 or 5 games on us before we even started.
Right.
So we're coming in late out of rhythm. Bam. We ended up catching up to everybody and being like 1 or 2 games up on everybody.
Right.
Because people stopped playing in like during the Chinese New Year, mid-February.
Right.
You know, into January as people started like stop playing.
Right.
So we had a game in Hong Kong and on like the 31st of January or 29th or somewhere within that range.
Okay.
And the last game of the season, you know what I mean? Rightfully so. They're protecting their fans and, you know, the business, you know, just being mindful. But yes, so we continued to play. Unfortunate events happened and they just canceled our last few games and said, man, you know.
Yeah, that was like most of the leagues over there. Like everybody, like that was like March when everything happened. Like most of the leagues overseas, everybody just shut down.
Shut down.
So what? So you've been there, and I think I've seen. You know, I follow you on your page, and I even follow that league on Instagram. I think you're like top 10 in like points, right? In that league, like is it for imports?
Yeah, I'm actually the second leading scorer in the league.
In the league, okay.
All time, I think in the league. Xavier Alexander is number 1.
That's your teammate now, right?
Yeah, he was my teammate.
Right. You guys were the 2 Americans on the team.
We had 3, and then we had our guy, you know what I mean, Biggie, from Anthony McLean from University of Cincinnati.
Okay. Now, since you've been over there, like whatever, either it could be South America or like since you've been in the ABL, who was probably the toughest person that you played against, or somebody that or even like the first person, even got to be pro, like the first person that just cooked you and that you couldn't guard or just had trouble with?
I ain't gonna say nobody really cooked me. You know what I mean? It depends on you come in, is your coach gonna let you rock out? You know what I mean? Is the other person already in a situation? It depends. But I've seen a lot of good guards.
Like, yeah, who was somebody tough that you had to guard? Yeah, I mean that you just like it was a tough matchup for you.
I would say
college or pro, either or.
I would say starting. It would have been in pro. I was already a couple years in, and I used to hear about the guy. It had to be Carl Elliot.
Elliott?
Carl Elliott is a guard. Okay. Had New York City guard, got the handle, got all that. He got the swagger, tough, size, solid, high basketball IQ. You know what I mean? You could see like the underlying passion he has for the game.
Right.
He was a tough guard. He was and I enjoyed his game. You know what I mean? It's just me being just a lover of basketball. Like I can look at other people's game and be like, "Ooh, I appreciate his game."
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I appreciate the game too. Yeah, that was
probably. What school did he go to?
I think he went somewhere in D.C. I want to say George Mason or George Washington.
George Washington, something like that. Yeah, because that name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, he won a couple of chips in Venezuela when that league was tough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no fluke. Played against guys like, the Lang, you know what I mean? Everybody, bro. Tony Mitchell be out there. it's all type of just athletes.
Right.
Man.
Now, before we get off, like last thing now, I think we was talking before now, you just this past year was your 12th season, right? Total being a pro?
Yes.
Well, so like how much of the game to you now is like more mental than like it like I think the older I get in basketball, and I always say this, I always say I wish I know now what I knew like when I was 25, I guess, as far as like just IQ. So like how much of the game for you is more mental now, the physical, just having those years and just having that experience? Like, is there anything, do you kind of say that sometimes? Like, I wish I know what I know now, like just from a IQ standpoint?
Yeah. I wish the IQ that I have now, of course I wish I had it when I was a younger player.
Yeah.
If I did, that story would have been written, you know what I mean?
Right.
But what I appreciate is just knowing, what to continually do. Like, I played today, and sheesh, knocking that rust off. That rust gonna come.
Right.
You got to continue to work on your craft. You got to continue to stay in rhythm. And the more you do that and keep your craft fine tuned, man, like that's just the love process.
Right. I think like I eat like now, like as far as like just knowing about nutrition and just taking care of your body. I think I do a better job of that now than I do when I was 25, because I was eating like like in college, even pro, sometimes you eating like cheeseburgers.
My hair growing and stuff, man. You know what I mean? Mint leaves. I got the mint leaves. I got the basil. Well, this is my good stuff, actually. You know what I mean?
Just as far as just eating right and taking care of your body. That's why you always see like it's always like that one older guy in the gym that's, even though he may not be as quick or fast no more, he just know how to play because he's an OG and he know how to get to his spots, use his body. So that's just come with experience. I'm pretty sure that you get to do that now, having so many years in.
And I'm still like loving the athleticism that I have right now.
Right. Yeah. Because now you probably stretching more. You probably doing different things than what you was doing when you said, like when you was 25.
I wish I would have took doing my legs more seriously when I was a little bit. That's the only thing. Like, if I could say I could implement one thing, it'd be like, man, lock in on your legs a little bit.
Right. Okay. Last two things. Are you a superstitious guy? Like, do you have like a ritual, like every, like, I gotta get a nap in, or I gotta eat this food, or I gotta wear like this pair of socks, like, cause some guys are like that. Like, are you like that in any way, like going in the games?
I'm more of a routine guy. Like, I like to get a nap. I like to lay down and get my rest and clear my mind. Even if I can't go to sleep, just laying there off my legs, just within myself. I can get up and get a cup of coffee and get back on my way.
Right.
So I became, into a routine, but I'm not superstitious about anything. As long as I got my pair of socks to hoop in, you know what I mean?
Hey, I think everybody on here said like 2 pair of socks is like just the one thing. You gotta have a 2 pair.
I got my 2 pair of socks, man, my tights, and we in there. Let's go.
Right. Okay. What was the you've been over there for 12, like when you got your first big deal or just saved money up, what was something that you bought back then? You probably like, damn, like I bought that, and like a little bit of jewelry or car, or just did you just splurge on anything crazy? Like once you had some money in your pocket?
I would have definitely saved some, but I spent a lot of money unwisely.
Oh yeah,
right. And
everybody on here has said that.
But the process of getting back up and then learning from that's that's priceless. So
evolving.
Of course I would tell myself do something differently.
Right.
But I didn't really, at the same time, like I bought a lot of experience, I guess you could say, because I spent that money on road trips, like.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Car gassing up the whip, going to Atlanta, going to Orlando,
right.
Going to New York, driving to North Carolina.
Going to travel, right.
Traveling.
Just catching the right.
Going to LA.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, just playing basketball for 12 years, like you probably went places that you probably would have never even thought about going, or can say that you've been just from playing ball.
Just the network of people that and that you have access to,
right.
And the relationships that you meet along the way, the
Right.
good, the
Right.
good, and you can appreciate the not so good people. You know what I
Right.
mean? Man,
And
you know
that's kind of why I started this page, because even though like it's kind of that's creating like a basketball tree, because basketball is such a big world, but like, you know, I've already posted, like I didn't know that you knew Chris, you know, so that's why I'm kind of posting this page, be like just to show how far like basketball can reach, and the people that you know and meet throughout the way. But yeah,
fact.
but yeah, bro. Like I said, man, my guy, he's got 12 years in. You know, looking forward to his 13th. You know, I appreciate having you on. You know, wishing you all the best for the year coming up.
Man, appreciate that, brother.
Okay.